breakthrough, those moments of breakthrough, whether you're learning a skill or you've been processing different parts of your life, healing, the title for that new book or creative work that you've been trying to iron out, maybe your personal life mission or big decisions. All of those things have those moments of breakthrough or aha, deeper understanding, revelation. There's so many different ways to approach breakthrough. But there's two things I think about. The first one, for me, is the blind spot, our limited awareness. In many cases, we're trying to, move in a certain direction or create the thing, and we're hitting a wall, we're hitting a barrier, we're hitting resistance. And it's usually about something we're misunderstanding or not able to hear. And I always think of our state of being, our state of mind. And what I mean by that is, emotionally, we experience frustration, we experience great joy. Or if you think in a romantic context, when you're in the honeymoon phase with someone, they can do no wrong, right? You see them as this perfect person. But when that's over, and maybe you're in the middle of a fight, it's quite the opposite. You're like, why did I even choose this person? Why are they acting like this? I can't believe, right? But it's not necessarily that the person has changed or flipped. It's that your state of being has changed. Your emotion connect directly to your imagination, which is connected directly to your perception, right? But it all happens in one moment so quickly and with such intensity that you confuse your emotional perception for reality. So when your emotions are high and you're loving, right, this person can walk on water and vice versa. But outside of the romantic context in our life, we have all of these subconscious beliefs. They're part of the strands of our foundational understanding of the world, our perspective, based on old traumas, triggers, great experiences, low experiences, right? And some of them come out of lack. Some of them come out of great feelings of abundance and everything in between. And so you show up to a situation, you bring that history that is deeply charged, but you are in a state of being, if you're not aware of those things, or in your blind spot, remember, that says, well, I can't have that. Or, oh, I can do that, it's easy, right? Whatever it may be. Or, no, this is going to be too hard because this is the way it has to work. I was trained this way, and everything I've heard from all of the experts or whoever you've received that information from says it has to be this way. When it's just an idea that you've believed. It's not necessarily wrong. That may be a way that it can work. But it's not the only way it can work. Because when you look around in this world, all the 8 billion plus people, all doing life in a very unique way, based on their spiritual beliefs, based on their identities, gender identities, orientation, sexual orientation, creative identities, and the amalgamation of all of the nuance and tones and timbres of their experience and their natural resonance and personality showing up as this one beautiful, unique work of art, an abstract painting unfolding on itself like auras of light, engaging with the world, right? And creating something that only that individual can create. So I think of breakthrough as those moments where you realize, oh, this idea, this perspective that I was in, and it was so much a part of me, I was so in it, that I couldn't see if I, sat back in the seat of my awareness, like we practice in meditation. That was just an emotion, that was just a belief. It doesn't have to be my identity, right? It doesn't have to be my state of mind, my state of being. So that creates breakthrough. Because when you find yourself in a state of knowing, an egoic state of knowing, not true knowing, because true knowing is realizing that you know less than you think you do. But this idea, state of mind that, oh, I know it has to be this way, then you get blocked, right? And that is the block. So that's one part of the breakthrough, is what's in your blind spot. The next part is once it's out of your blind spot and you start to work with it. Oh, I have generational trauma. I didn't even realize that this was an issue or how much this was impacting my life. Then you get an opportunity to start to heal that thing and transform it, where that foundational strand of who you are, your perception, is now being removed or transformed, or you're actively trying to replace it. You're seeing all the ways that it's shown up in your life. And now you get to put in or even evaluate, well, what actually do I believe? What actually is true? What is most resonant and in alignment with who I am and what I'm here to do, if you can name those things yet. And in that space, right, that's where all the magic happens. Because you get to sit with yourself, you get to contemplate in your journal. Maybe you guys are practicing my Rise journal, or your own method of deep seeking and connection, introspection, contemplation. And then how do you go about embodying the thing? So awareness is step one, the blind spot. Step two is the processing, the transformation, the healing. 3 is embodiment. Eventually, after you do your affirmations or your practices or whatever way you connect, the real breakthrough is when it becomes second nature. And you look up and you're in a place that used to be very difficult to maybe honor your needs or honor your boundaries. And now it's like clockwork, it's like breathing. It's effortless, ease, flow. So that's what I think a big part of breakthrough is. So now my question to you is, what are you calling in? What are you breaking through in this season? Whether it's embracing more flow and ease, or this desire to be understood, or creating this life of your dreams. It's really about increasing your self-awareness. And what I mean by that is stepping into your heart space. And instead of projecting outward, going inward, asking yourself new questions. And being introspective instead of projecting it on the world around you, regardless of the role that others have played. But diving into questions like, okay, what if I practice radical acceptance of the situation? What if I took radical responsibility for my life, the role that I play in my life, the way that I am a co-creator of every experience? I'm half of every experience. And in some cases where you have more control, or if it's an independent experience, you're more than half. So when it's acceptance, why do I have this need for other people to accept me? Surely there's no way in the world all 8 billion people in the world will accept all parts of me. There's a natural conflict or disagreement of the things that we believe in, or the way that I present versus the way that they would want to receive me. So why am I having difficulty accepting that? Is it because I've yet to accept myself fully? That's one of the reasons we were practicing self-love earlier, because that's a large part of our struggles. Many of us are holding on to feelings of self-doubt or trying to assimilate into the group. And then we lead this mediocre life because we are trying to average what we want and what we don't want, right? And so we meet in the middle at average, and we wonder why we're not fulfilled. And it's because we slowly let go of alignment with our authentic self. What do you really want? Stay true to that. Along the way, life is going to present you opportunities, and the gateway to the authentic self is relationship. Those opportunities are when someone in your family speaks negatively about you, or a close friend kind of hits you with an angle of yourself you didn't see before, and now you're challenged to look at it. And it's hurtful because it came from someone you love, and maybe they didn't have the skills to speak it compassionately. Or maybe it's untrue, and life is giving you the opportunity to stand in your truth, even when blatant untruth comes at you. Or maybe it's teaching you how to create better boundaries, cultivate greater communication skills, cultivate the compassion that you say you are. Go deeper into those things, right? This is the way that life gives you the opportunity to embody those things or to grow those skills. But many times we overlook them and say, oh, we decide we know again. This person's just blah, 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 this person. And they may or may not be, I don't know them. But I also we can't do anything about them. So we can take a moment to sit with our discomfort. What did that trigger within me? Triggered my own insecurity, most likely. I'm not validating or justifying their expression, but I am saying the way to break through those barriers is to build up your inner strength, to be more self-aware, to stay present, and to be in your truth. What am I called to today? What is my purpose? What is my mantra that grounds me? And what is my practice that helps me self-regulate my attention? Because that's the biggest thing. When something comes in, my attention goes, oh, bing, boom, boom, I'm triggered. And now the ping pong ball, my emotions and the thoughts in my mind is just bouncing off on old hurts, old patterns. Which is why I'm always advocating for mindfulness meditation. Whether you do it journaling, walking, physical activity, exercise, or you do seated meditation like we do every morning in the Beautiful Souls community. But this is about self-awareness, because ultimately, we are the editors of our story. Every experience we have, we are the editor of it. Someone says something, I can take it personally and go down the rabbit hole and go, oh my God, why did they do that? I'm in such torment. And maybe that's all you're available for in that moment. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just presenting our options. Another option that has been really empowering for me lately is to realize that what other people do is about them. So if they're spreading something that's hurtful or harmful or inconsiderate, then that's a reflection of their own hurt, harm, or inconsideration of themselves. So now what do I do with it? Because now it might have triggered some of my own old hurts. So maybe I'll take a moment just to ground it, remind myself these truths. So I want to encourage you all to honor what you need. Whenever you get a conflict, instead of centering your focus outward, use it as a mirror. Why did that impact me in this way? What about me and my history or my journey is being triggered right now in this experience? And how can I use this opportunity for my breakthrough? How can I free myself from giving other people the red button that says, make me uncomfortable? And the short answer is meditate. It's a new week. I want you to really make yourself available. Right? We talked about states of being in the breakthrough. Make yourself available to witness what you've never witnessed before about yourself so that you might heal and grow. It's one of my most resonant intentions for myself and the world, because life is so unpredictable. And you never know where those opportunities might come. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, I'm offering 2 months of the membership for half off. It's like 50 cents a meditation. Plus we're doing workshops, and in next month, beginning of June, we'll be doing one on forgiveness, which I think is a big one for a lot of us in here, letting go of those old hurts. How do we move through that? Whether you're a one and done kind of person, or it may take you a longer journey to get there. It may have to do it daily or at a regular interval. But the Beautiful Souls online community offering is all about seeing yourself differently, realigning through the process of deep listening, deep seeking, through meditation. Because if you can create a gap in your pattern, right, being here and riding that wave and not realizing you have that blind spot, and then sitting back in the seat of your awareness to see yourself play out these old patterns from childhood, then there's an opportunity in that gap. In that gap, that space to choose something new, to choose what's really true for you, to sit with that discomfort and make it familiar, so that when those things happen, you're still in your peace. Not only are you in your peace, you're in your power, and you choose what you know is right for you. And instead of taking responsibility for everyone's emotions, you just take responsibility for what's yours and let them tend to themselves, thus creating greater freedom for the collective. This is how healed people heal people. Before I go this morning, I want you to set a conscious intention. May I be available to witness what I've never witnessed before about myself, so that I might heal and grow. When you hold that intention, your entire state of being shifts, and you can see the world with fresh eyes. See yourself with fresh eyes. Just new pieces of information just trickle in and start cracking through that old concrete that's blocking your garden from growing. Much love and light. Peace.